main teen stereotypes. Skinny and very attractive, strapless, free in their body.
They're the preps.
All of these kids have very nice clothes, very nice just accessories, things.
Really jockey guys that wear the same Nike sweatpants every day and shorts, and they have like this one monotone personality through all of them.
And then saggy pants, kind of swaggering.
There's the typical race stereotypes, like black people have to act a certain way, white people have to act a certain way, Asians have to act a certain way.
And then shy. I would say there's the shy.
Nerds, I guess.
And the uncertain. The one that like to be an observer only.
Emo group.
There you go.
How do they evolve?
That's a hard one.
It reflects fashion. They come out of insecurities that kids have.
Maybe they just evolve from misunderstandings.
I believe since my mom was growing up and, my being 18 years old in 2009, like her growing up in the 80s, like things have changed drastically.
Because you didn't really see like emo and stuff like that a long time ago.
I feel like there's been a lot more steps towards like integration rather than desegregation.
I think stereotypes evolve out of fear. I think that there's a deep primal something in humans that makes them afraid of that which they do not know or that which is different from them. And if you don't have the level of character that it takes for your innate curiosity to overcome those fears, then you end up with stereotypes. And a stereotype happens when you prejudge a person or a group without, as he said, finding out what they're all about.
They can be really harsh and mean and degrading even to people. I have a close friend. He has a really good sense of fashion, and a lot of people just beginning in 6th grade started to call him gay. He took this pretty harshly, I guess, and would always deny it and say that he wasn't gay, and for a period of time he tried to act more straight, if that makes sense. And it still didn't stop the name calling and the ridiculing. People would still make fun of him. It seemed like the jocks were the people who were the meanest to him and other people like him. I remember one time we were outside eating lunch. One of them just came up to him and looked him in the face and called him a fag. It was definitely obvious when he was feeling almost scared. Like, it's not like he was threatened physically by these people, but definitely emotionally. And then basically we went from middle school to high school, and over that summer he talked to me and he told me that he was gay and that he had been gay since like 6th grade. I was fine with it, but eventually he would start to tell more people, and the word got out that he was actually gay. And for whatever reason, when that happened, people stopped calling him names and stopped being mean to him. People are definitely more accepting of him now that he's come to terms with himself. Since then, things have been fine for him, but I just can't get over how mean people in middle school and even sometimes in high school can be like towards anyone who's different.
They just never kind of came out because they were categorized and put over in this name of a group of people or this group of people, and they never really kind of became who they could have become or still could become because of being stereotyped.
What classifies someone as a certain stereotype tends to be their interests.
Probably the commitment they make to it.
They were classified by who they were friends with, probably.
Your religion or your ethnicity or something that might not be so much under your control. I think it's just because they're slightly different, or they're different enough in their own category that they can be categorized. and it makes it a lot easier. Instead of just being, oh, there's that person that wears like that cool clothing, or they're like this every day, we're going to group them all together. Like, they are hipsters.
We've been kind of like trained like through everything, music, TV, you know, friends, a lot of things influence us.
I don't think a person necessarily has to fit a stereotype to get thrust into a stereotype role, because people naturally think in terms of stereotypes. It almost seems to be hardwired in the sense that it's the way the brain tends to simplify information.
Back in 5th grade, I had a friend. She was really, really smart, like really, really, really smart, smarter than everybody. And to everybody, she was just nerd girl. She didn't have many friends, so, you know, I was like, hey, you wanna be friends? And she was like, sure. So we were really, really good friends, like best friends. But that was until, like, I don't know, by the end of the year. I had noticed some things about her that I just couldn't understand. We got into plenty of fights every single day over the stupidest things. I didn't like that. I didn't think that was a good relationship. So I told her, we can't make this work. I don't want to be friends anymore. And she was really hurt. She was just, I didn't even know how much I hurt her. And then 2 years after not talking to her at all, I find her at the library, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's you. And then we start to talk, and I noticed something on her arm, and like right all over her arm, like over here, is a whole bunch of scratches. And I'm like, what happened? And she's just like, oh, I got mauled by a cat. And I was like, okay. But I noticed some of the scratches, and some were faded than others. Like some would be really, really faded, and those would be like just fresh, brand new. So I didn't want to ask her anything, but because I know that would have probably offended her, so I kind of kept quiet. Some people that knew her, like I did, they call her like an emo now, like she's practically insane, pyro, all that stuff. And it's like, what happened? I wish that I never made that phone call to tell her that we weren't being friends, because now it's like, whoosh, she's off to another planet now, so.
I'd say that some future stereotypes will be either like people who are obsessed with like a technology.
There's going to be the man on the moon.
Well, again, I imagine the future stereotypes are just going to be different manifestations of the very ones that are now.
I think they'll be pretty much around the same. It all like is about how you look different and like what race you are. It's like what you portray.
Robots and aliens, I don't know.
There's going to be the explosive dynamite terrorist stereotype.